and gentlemen, welcome to On the Mic with the L.
Auntie.
Listen, y'all, we back today, and we're gonna have this discussion. And we were talking before this podcast about just crazy shit, and we're gonna talk about something that's missing in probably 95% of American households, if not 95% of world households. Do y'all people have a code of conduct that you preach to your family? That question, eh, based on what we're going to talk about today, it just tells me that nobody was really basically brought up correctly. You know, and what I mean by correctly is don't act a fool outside this house. There's certain when I was growing up, there's certain things they told us. Don't go out there act a fool in front of people. Don't go out there and steal shit. Don't go out there act a goddamn fool and fuck up my family name and mind your goddamn manners and respect goddamn authority. That's what they told us. Or they beat the shit out of us. You can't do that now, but they beat the shit out of us. Like if something came back, shit, that beat the brakes off you. And your next door neighbor beat the brakes off you back then. Because you'll get your ass whipped. Then when they get back, they tell you why they whipped your ass. And then you get your ass whipped for making them look bad.
All over again.
All over again.
I didn't come up in that generation. I'll say that. I will say that. The neighbors wasn't going upside the head in my neighborhood. That would be I will say that. That started to come in my generation.
See, so that's the difference between again generations. My generation, we got the pip hand put on us. Your
Mhm.
generation probably got the stern talking to, take your this away from you, take that away from you,
So
and go from there.
all that like at the era where the neighborhood watched the kids, where you knew you could go outside, you didn't go too far. Um the neighbor kept an eye on you, make sure you didn't do too much. If the neighbor said something to you, you could tighten back up. You was outside playing with your school clothes on, the neighbor just had to cut their eyes at you and you knew to go back in that house and change out your clothes type of generation. Those that the standards and the code of conduct that was instilled in that generation is totally different today. you know.
Yes.
But you started off with saying 95% of households don't have it anymore. That's harsh. That is harsh, my sir.
Okay, I have to say that because based on the the, the couple of stories we're going to talk about today, obviously somebody didn't teach you correctly or somebody didn't train you correctly.
Okay, amidst the stories we're gonna go over, we're gonna keep hope alive. There are still some excellent people out here in the world, and some parents doing a darn good job. They are. And for those who are a little scattered in the malls, talking loud and cussing, fighting public places, um, those are the ones who are either walking around acting like there was no code of conduct put in you inside of your household that we're going to talk about. But I don't want to pretend like everybody's in there, because I've seen some excellent young brothers, okay, 16 to 21, well behaved, well rounded. Parents have done a great job with them. All age groups. I've seen them looking, on point and a little bit all over the place. So shout out to the
Okay.
ones who's doing it and the ones who's not. We're gonna talk shit about you. We're gonna talk shit about the stuff that you're putting out in the world. And sometimes people gotta talk shit about me and the things that I'm doing, and hopefully I'll recognize it, rise to the occasion. So we're gonna hope that when we talk our shit, people recognize it. If it's in them, they rise to the occasion and just do the better in life, right?
Yes.
But don't act like you pussyfooting around with what you're supposed to do in life that nobody's gonna talk shit about it. So that's exactly what we do. Let's just be honest here.
And that T, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely positively correct. But you know me, I always gotta be the hard hit, the hard ass. I gotta be like, fuck
Man's
all y'all fucking
approach.
up.
Man's approach. I will say, growing up, that my father made certain to let us know that if one of us gets in trouble or messes up, that would cover and blanket all of us. Meaning we all got. So I understand how you could umbrella us all in the category that if one household in the community needs to tighten up, That means all of the households in the community need to tighten up. So I can respect that.
See, thank you. See, so T, it's for she's from the global perspective. Me, I just want to bash everybody. I'm like, I'm tired of this bullshit. I'm tired of the fuck shit. I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm just tired of people just kind of just like, oh, this is normal behavior. This shit ain't normal. This shit is not normal by no stretch of the imagination. And the the one of the first stories I'm gonna talk about, and we'll get deeper into it probably next week because we got a couple other ones to go through, is this whole Diddy situation. Um, and in fact, fuck Diddy for a second. That poor young lady obviously had low self-esteem,
What
and
the
nobody taught her a fucking thing about code of conduct.
hell?
I'm talking about Cassie. God damn it! How the fuck? Hey, I'm going straight here.
Hold on.
This. Look, I have to go here. I have to go here because
Hold
I
on. I'd be cut. Mm,
yeah, grab your pearls because
yeah.
here's the thing. People keep talking, oh, I can't believe, he did that to her and all these years and all that shit. First thing I'm gonna say is the first time he approached me, like, listen, I need you to go have sex with that dude over there, and I need you to rub some baby oil on yourself. And once he nuts on you, I need you to come back and rub that on my nipples.
They didn't. First of all, okay, it didn't start off like that. There's no way. That is this poor young lady.
So I mean, but T, we got to the end. It's like a movie. You said, "Here's the end," but let me tell you how we got here. So, I, first of all, if I had a daughter, the first thing she's not going to fall for is the money grab or the attention. Because first of all, she should have been shown enough attention growing up that she didn't just fall for the first person. P. Diddy, anybody else who had that kind of money and prestige. You should say, you know what? I'm gonna whatever it takes to hang in this lifestyle. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. There has to be a sense of self. There has to be a self love thing going on there. What do we teach? What are y'all teaching y'all girls? What are y'all just saying? Go out there and do what you gotta do. Get that money quick. You may gotta get your ass whipped a little bit, slap them a little bit, but hey, you get that money.
No, no, that's not how it happened. She did not show up like that. It's just no way. See, this is though. How much of what you've instilled in your children kind of play out like truly in the relationship, right? Like
Mhm,
I understand that we talk about like your broken lifestyle and the things that a woman goes through and all those things, but how many women come from like a solid foundation and still show up inside of the bedroom with, is the word like sexual prowess,
mhm, mhm,
right? Like they enjoy sex acts and sex games and
mhm.
perhaps even a little bit of sexual promiscuity. But they have they're foundationally, they intact. Is that a thing?
Mm,
From a man's perspective, because
you know,
always
from,
so just because are we trying to paint this picture that everybody who's out here to play in these gray areas coming out of a space and place where the household lacked a code of conduct or morals or values being taught and instilled? Is it
and
all that?
I think okay. There's a point where you that transition from young adult to adult happens. And I guess you have to, for me, you have to have a sense of yourself to determine if you want to do that. If you're doing it, for instance, if a woman is just showing love from what a lot of women tell me, if they don't have a father figure, if they don't have anyone that really shows them that they love them or care about them, or mother that just kind of, it's almost like you're a burden to her, and you never tell her, she never tells you she loves you, that there's always a hole in you. Like you just want someone to love you. And if that means they love me physically, I can take that and change to make me feel good about myself. And if you use that as the thing to fill your soul up being empty, in the long run, to me, that's not going to work at all. Because at some point, we talked about the GPYs. At some point, ladies, that's good pussy years.
Mm-hmm.
It's like saying an hourglass. Don't use all your good pussy years up before it's too late. So they start giving it away. So it's like, oh, I feel full. I feel like I'm me. I love me because they love me. Well, we love you because we're getting that easy access to you. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna always love that until you say, no, I think, I want to wait. Then we're going to come back. Well, oh, now you want to wait. After I've been knocking your boots for 5 years, now you want to have a sense of purpose. And now you don't feel comfortable having sex with me no more. And now we need to wait, hold back. I got to get myself together. And now I got to go all that bullshit. Now, two days ago, we were swinging upside down off a chandelier. I'm holding on, you holding on. We're getting busy. But now I got nope. I sit back and I came back. I talked to the Lord and them, and He told me this is what I should not do because it's not making me truly happy. So I'm going to stop all this rigmarole and having us illicit sex.
Because a woman is enlightened. She done got saved and she done learned something else. She's trying to elevate herself, and y'all madman. It sounded like the answer to my question was nah. Women from solid backgrounds normally. I think I think what you kind of exposed though is the idea that even with what can appear to be a solid foundation, there's still breaks in it. To where women come out into adulthood, right?
Hmm.
The woman who is truly intact is not maneuvering like this. Is that pretty much?
Absolutely, because they understand. And
Yeah,
it's based on women I knew were brought up by their fathers and mothers, and women that were brought up by just their mothers. It's a clear difference, and you don't want to look at oh well, and we understand fathers are important.
yeah,
They're important in women's and both lives, but particularly yeah, both lives. I can't say one more important than the other because they're both important. But if you don't have a father who really it will be the standard bearer of what you want in a mate or what you want in a relationship, then you have nothing to put against it. I know guys who took their daughters out for nail appointments, manicures, pedicures, sh- took them out to eat, show them how to eat, at restaurants, not McDonald's, but five-star restaurants to show them, this is how you should be taken care of. So, of course, as those young women grow up to be, mature women or young women, they know that this dude can't just pull some bullshit on me, tell me I love you. My father said he loved me every single day. So I don't have a hole in my heart yearning for love. I have love. The thing is, what are you coming to this table with? What are you coming to this relationship with? If you try to use me or take me to help you, I ain't that one because I had a dad who told me that hey, you are meaningful. You're worth millions. You're worth you're priceless.
mhm,
So no guy can talk a hole in your head to get to your drawers, or talk to you a hole in your head, buy you some trinkets or some things because your father or whoever that powerful male role model was in your life, it's still that you are someone. Don't cheapen yourself by just going out here and just thinking that somebody's gonna love you. Because we're not. As men, we'll do what we gotta do, get them draws. We'll say whatever we do. We whisper that sweet nothing. I love you.
I'm gonna
And we'll boom.
I'm gonna translate this one. You can't get carried away. Okay, okay. Because what I heard is the man who works on his daughter actively. And normally, if you're actively showing up and taking her out, you have to work on her, right? You're going to have these conversations when you're in the car. You're going to have these conversations when you're in restaurants. You're going to see the way people start to respond to your teenage daughter, and you're going to whisper certain things in her ear to kind of remind her of herself. You're going to see her pay attention to guys in the public. So you're going to remind her how to move, and you're going to have those conversations. So even the dad who is financially supportive of his child or who is physically present in his daughter's life, but he doesn't speak to her. He doesn't teach her much. He's not going through life experiences with her, right?
Hmm.
That person can also be absent even though you're present, right? So it's like, make sure that you're actively putting something into that child. You can't just send the money. You can't just go to work and come home and, be there. You have to actively work on your children and talk to them.
Key, very, very key. People keep thinking, and you hear a lot of guys say, well, I paid the money. And money is a part of the entire pie. It's like I got flour. What about you make an apple pie? I got the flour. What about the sugar? What about the apples? What about all the other ingredients? It takes all that to make a pie, not just I got the flour. In this case, I gave her money. Well, she needs you because if there's a here's the thing, gentlemen. If you're not in your daughter's life or your kid's life, there'll be somebody else who's going to dictate to them how they should live their lives, and you probably ain't gonna like that. Because now you're gonna be mad, like, oh, I can't believe he taught my daughter. Who the fuck was gonna teach her or him how to be an adult or how to do certain things because you weren't there. And no kid want to hear about, well, my mama and daddy didn't get along and my daddy just stayed away. Fuck that. That's your kid. That's you. So if you're ignoring her or him, you're ignoring yourself. And get over yourself. It's time to grow up. And you got to be there for these kids. But don't come around later on when the kids had two or three kids talking about, I can't believe she ain't raised that girl at all. She got three kids by three different baby daddies. And no, no, motherfucker, turn around, look at yourself too, because you should have been involved in that. Because as she grew along the way, she had questions. She had nobody to answer those questions. And the mama's just going to give her whatever she needs to get her out of her face because her mama going through stuff. And T, here's the other thing.
The moms,
One of the things we don't talk about.
well, the moms may not be going through things, but the moms can only give you the perspective of the womanhood. But that's not enough. And I need to hear it. Even if it's the same lesson from my mom's mouth, it might hit me differently when my dad says it.
Yes.
Not to say I don't fully trust my mother, right? But we building up that trust. So I'm trying to see what's really true. So when she keep on talking to me about, how to move with the men, you're not no man, ma. You only been dating dad, in your young head. You don't think that your mom has all of this experience in life, especially if you're like in a household where there's just dad, right? Your mom is not
Hmm.
out dating.
Yep.
So you just and it's just mom, you don't always want her input on stuff. You're tired of talking. It's a
That T.
we talk a
That
lot.
that right there. I'm gonna hold you right there. You're absolutely right. There's a point where you start to go from I'm listening to mom until she sounds like the goddamn teacher on Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 because and especially when you get to that 12, 13,
Yes, very,
14.
very early. By the time you 16, it's it doesn't matter what I'm saying. It'd be like, hey, you want to go shopping for your prom dress? Like, really? You couldn't hear me about that? Really? Really? I kind of you've been talking to me for so long that they need that input from dad because sometimes they can't hear mom anymore.
And that's the thing that guys don't realize. Like, you get tied up in the child support and all that other stuff. But again, as we talked about before, you decide to play the game. You played the game and I won't say lost, but you had an addition to the game. Now's not the time to play, well, she should have known I ain't want no kid, or I can't afford a kid. Well, motherfucker, you played the game loosely. You played it with a raw dog style, and you got caught. So that means now I have to grow up. That means I have to have responsibility. I have to be there,
Mhm.
regardless of relationship. I have to be there for my child because these kids do grow up. As we're talking about right now, ladies and gentlemen, they grow up. And you're gonna be a part of that shit in the early stages, or you can be after the fact talk about what should have happened. But then don't do that unless if you weren't involved, you can't say shit because you allowed this to happen. You didn't step up and say, you know what, let me get involved with my kid's life. Let me have that conversation with them. Let me take them, on the weekends, whatever, and have that real conversation with them so they can know what they're really dealing with out here. But as you said, by the time the young ladies get to a point, they don't want to hear that shit. They're like, listen, mom, I'm tired of hearing. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. I can't wait to graduate and move on so I can go ahead and live my life. Now, they're not prepared for the life in which they think they're going to get. But they're like, oh, I'm out there. Then you start seeing all these other guys. They start showing you things you haven't seen. Why? Like you said, your father wasn't involved. There wasn't a male role model there to show you if what he's doing is it a game, is it really him? You out there going like, oh, he's telling me it's factual. No, ain't no goddamn factual. At that age, he don't know what the hell's going on because think about it. If you didn't have a dad, he probably didn't have a dad. So who the hell taught him? Come on now.
I'm gonna go to
Come
school.
on.
Night night. Mm-mm. Wow. Not if you didn't. Is that normally how it goes?
How think about how many people do you know? And I know you don't know that many people who were raised by fathers or mothers
Who
alone.
that many people raised up?
You know, you came from a different type. Everybody everybody had a house. Everybody had mom and dad, from picket fence, a dog. So you had the dysfunctional home where this mama raised everybody, and all of a sudden the boy he's out there. He don't know how to be a man, and you were seeing that. We're seeing men who don't know how to be men. They think they know what it is to be a man because you see everybody else doing it, but they just lost as you are. It's the blind leading the blind. So now you're like, oh, I should be out here, trying to mac these women, do all this and all that, and get what I can get out of it. Well, you're not even growing up yet. Nobody's taught you the steps of becoming a man. So everybody misses out on it. The kids suffer. Ladies and gentlemen, the kids suffer. The two of y'all could bicker back and forth, but I hate you, you cheat on me, you cheat. Damn all that. You got kids here. So now you put that shit aside and start saying, how do we come together for this child?
But I think the point that we're trying to make here is that ultimately the adults suffer, meaning them kids are not kids forever. And the way we're seeing nonsense play out in the world today is, children who pretty much aged out with minimal guidance. And that's what we're saying, that it's minimal guidance in the house. It's a minimal code of, not enough households have a code of conduct that they're standing on. And so when you then go to raise your children, they age out, walk into adulthood, they're all over the place. Um, the boys who don't compete academically, right? That set of boys. They don't compete in a sports arena. They don't compete in a political, like they're not competing and they're not being groomed anywhere. Um, there are no men working on them. That's a problem. Even as the girls, they're raised by their parents, so perhaps you'd assume their moms. So perhaps you'd assume that the mom is working on them, but she's at work. She perhaps is a little absent, right? There's not. What I always say is have at least three principles going on in, right? Like three things that you always remind your child of, right? Three. Why three? Because three is easy to remember, right? Just pull it out, whatever. You can make up your three. Just pretend those three are your best three things. The little girl, but we make sure we do in this household, we make sure our hair is brushed, our teeth are clean, and our lips have lip gloss on them, right? Like we always basic. In other words, stay clean, stay fresh, stay presentable.
There you go.
But when there's no one there, well, oh, people are always there. But when there's no one working on the children, then you look at them as teenagers and start looking at them sideways. And then once they go into adulthood, those are going to be the ones who are struggling to um find a normal, lifestyle as an adult. And they can be well educated, right? They can be very successful, but that doesn't negate the idea that they're still struggling, especially in the arena of relationships and parenting their own children. They weren't taught much.
No. And who suffers? Society suffers. Here's
Yeah.
a prime example. Um, the producer said to me recently, he said, Dad, what you and Mama had and what Miss T and her husband has. She said he said that is wishful thinking. A lot of people. He said I can't see myself having the type of relationships y'all guys have because they're different. And I said, "What do you mean different?" He said, "It's just like they're not prepared." He keeps thinking that being in a relationship, having a kid will solve all their problems. He said, "But they never done any internal work." He said, "They're trying to manufacture happiness outside themselves. So they try to find people. She got to have this. She got to be this. He got to be this. She got to be that. And when they don't all match up, then they're quick to leave. Like, oh, you know what? I'm getting out of this. This is not working out for me. So nobody wants to put in the work in themselves to really see what they're looking for. He said because he said what they should be looking for is based on them being a complete person. But everyone is looking at people based on them missing something, and
Mhm.
they need somebody to, fill that missing void. He said, and right now you can't swipe left and swipe right to find that. You can't find it online. He said nobody wants to really talk. Everybody, I got a great relationship. He said one of his friends who had a great relationship, never met the person. I said, how the fuck you got a good relationship and you never met the person? Oh, we text very well. The fuck is texting? Fucking text. You better meet her. You better sit there and talk to her. But that's the society in which we have now. Is everybody's just swiping and looking at the outside, but
I
not really dealing with them. I always say this to you: before you go out there searching for problems, solve yours. Before you go out there, I need someone to make me feel whole. I need someone to make me feel this way. Motherfucker, work on yourself. Go therapy. Do something to get your shit straight. Stop fucking pointing other people and blaming them. It wasn't for that person or that person. I would be so fucked up. And you keep still pointing because every person you pointing to
it's
just add up to your
so
baggage.
it's so if it wasn't for the old girl, old boy wouldn't have been feeling like that. That made that man insecure for 10 years. That number that her second baby daddy did on her, nah, she ain't date for 5 years after that. These people do give you anxiety, they give you lost nights. I mean, the it's real. It's real, is what I'll say. However, I think the biggest problem, like I mean, I'm just getting just a little bit older, not too much, not too much.
Oh, you're still young. You're young.
Yeah. But one thing I really like, this is just my new theory. Y'all been touched by too many people. That's where all those expectations come from. And listen, heartbreak and heartache is just heartbreak and heart. Somebody is going to hurt you. They are going to break your heart. They are going to disappoint you. They are going to come up short. Okay. They are.
Yep.
But but you keep allowing the different people to do these things to you. So each guy or each lady does something, else different to you that just like you so tainted now. You don't know which way to go. I don't think that's the natural part of life for us. And I think that's why, you see the women with the multiple, children by the different fathers. Because like none of y'all fit well because my standard now, and I kept wanting to refine the standard to make it better because that's what I just want something that's better. And it's not to say that you're supposed to settle. I'm not saying that, but damn, like what are you looking for? Like nobody knows what it is that you're looking for because you've been touched so many times that you're looking for all of those best traits from all 10 of those men that you dealt with over the last few years to come all together and be like, boom, the great guy that never hurts you. I want him too. The great guy that never hurts you. Just so we're all clear.
It's true.
You can't exist in any type of relationship and think that person won't hurt. Like my dad. Has my dad never hurt my feelings?
Of course he has.
How could that be? You don't like, how could you have a relationship with anybody and that person not hurt your feelings, right? Your mom. Like, first of all, we already just talked about how more than hurt your feelings, she gonna hurt your damn ears. Like, you
Hmm.
stop listening to her. So if your mother and your father's gonna hurt your feelings, right? They're going to offend you. Stuff might get a little bit even crazy over the years with that relationship, right?
Hmm.
Imagine when you have a relationship where it's just a different dynamic. Sex is involved now. That joker's gonna run you a little bit. And I know it's supposed to be all fairy tale like they showed us on Disney. I want I was like Beauty and the Beast. I just, do a little teardrop and the beast just come back to life. And instead of him being a beast, he too is beautiful. And then our whole life is beautiful now, right? But
Yep.
that's come on, that's not reality. That's Disney. That
Exactly.
yeah, I respect my producer for voicing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And I
respect
thought
that.
about it, and I said, okay, never. And again, we talking to us. We've been out the game for so long. It's like it's like, oh, really? It's like
Okay,
that.
no, crazy part. Because you see, I can talk to everybody. I'm in everybody's business. Okay, that's the crazy, and I'm enjoying it. Just what happened? Uh-huh. That's sip and see. When they pour it, I don't ask too many questions. I just listen. But life is lifing out here, and
It really is.
if people had like, let's talk about integrity. The
Mm.
idea that you stood with integrity, like on 50% of your stuff.
At least half. Yeah. If you get half, yes.
But the idea that you have, like, you don't even have integrity when it comes to your mama.
Mm.
Like, come on, you're not supposed to be moving and grooving like that in front of moms. So if you're not going to check how you move and groove in front of your mother, you certainly can't check how you're moving and grooving in front of me.
Yep. That is true. Facts. Straight facts.
Accountability. Okay.
Wow.
Now this one is the internet is doing a little thing right now, right? Where we're highlighting how women, I mean, we will darn near die, apparently, according to these videos I've seen on Instagram, to like, say sorry and to like humble ourselves and be like, oh, I was wrong. That's accountability. So y'all telling me the women out here don't have no accountability? That's a problem. So hold on. If you don't have accountability with your man, right?
Hmm.
Do you have accountability with your children? How? Because that's a principle, right? It
Yep.
goes across the board. It goes
Yep.
across the board. So how you moving in your relationship with your intimate partner? That's how you move in all of your relationships, right? Keeping
Yes.
the idea of keeping your word. Are you able to keep your word? Are you standing up your sister? You probably gonna stand up that man at some point. I know the D make you move differently, but damn, them principles be them principles.
And you're right, T. And if you look around, as you just said, the internet, you just look around, and we see in life, nobody wants to be accountable for shit.
Mm,
They won't want to be accountable for a goddamn thing. We even got a dumbass, and
it's,
this not even the goddamn subject to bring up, but even we got the dumbass president of the United States who ain't accountable for a goddamn thing. They ain't accountable for shit. If you're the man who's supposed to be running the free nation, the freest nation, the most powerful nation in the world, I should be at least. I said, oh, you know what he's saying to me? Ain't fucking lie. He's accountable for his shit. But when that goofy motherfucker ain't accountable, everybody say, oh, if he ain't accountable, I ain't gotta be accountable either. No, motherfucker, you do have to be accountable. He just had to be piss poor morally enough to just don't worry about it. But you have to. You have to be accountable for
yeah.
your shit because that's part of manhood and womanhood. Accountability.
So what I did explain to my daughter, she's very young.
Hmm.
I said to her, there are special people in our world, right?
Hmm.
The special people are toddlers and elderly. They tend to get passes in life. He gonna have to be in the elderly category. Something's not there, right? Something's just not there. Like a senile old man. Like, yeah, but he's not right. He's not on there. Damn, that's
Exactly.
our lead. That's our lead.
Damn.
Yeah. But yeah, um, I get it. Accountability is hard though. So as we speak about accountability, you know, be mindful of the things you put out there because they're your things that you put out there. And then when it's time to sit in it, it's like a man who when his woman cheats back, and then
Mm-hmm.
like he never cheated because she never confronted him about it. She just went out and did it, and now he about to kill her. You be like, bruh, bruh, I drove you to old girl house. I was with her friend. What are you crashing out for? What are you crashing out for?
That is true.
Or
That
you
is so true.
choose one guy and tell him he was the baby daddy, and that guy was,
Oh,
complexion differences, and then he came out, and then you still don't want to come up off of that. Like, sir, you was messing with a handful of them. I was right there with you. I was with his friend. Come on, girl, cut that shit out. The accountability is not that easy, and people can get hurt. So you really have to, be careful of the bed you're making.
that. Can you be accountable
Yeah.
for what you do? Remember I said we all we are all going to do fuck shit because we're humans. Humans aren't perfect. But when you purpose, because you had to think about doing this. Because again, you ain't just fall into somebody else's ass or somebody else's pussy like, oh goddamn, I fell into it. Oh no, you had to go through certain yes or no decisions to get to that point.
Hmm.
So anytime you were making that yes or no decision, you could at some point say no because it's not fair to my wife, not fair to my girlfriend, not fair to my kids, because this is going to lead to nothingness because she can bounce today or tomorrow. This is could be a flame for her. But for me, it's going to ruin my life. My wife's going to divorce me. She's going to take half my money. My kids going to look at me crazy and sideways. But if you just but that part of is the grown man, grown woman
Your might,
mentality.
your wife might not leave you. She just might act with you. See, gone is them days where the woman just sat in the house and let you rip and run on and play games with her. Like,
Those days over. Mm-mm.
let's take these kids down south, drop them off to my mama house, and we out.
Yep. And then next you know, and as I always tell, gentlemen, I said this we said this earlier in a previous podcast, probably a year ago. Women will play around on you, and you would never realize she played around on you.
Yeah.
She'll
Unless
be, she'll never change.
unless she wants you to. But it's like now he needs to know. Let me be a little messy. Let me leave these messages in my phone. And he might need to know. And because it's time for him to go. See, you need to know was when it's time for you to go.
Hello.
You want to be accountable for the shit that you put out there that caused all this shit to come to an end. Now you mad. So I
I,
ain't shit in court. Yes, you are. We're not dating, bitch. We're married. How about that?
as we say about marriage, it's
Yeah.
half and half, baby. Ain't no, well, we're gonna figure out now.
Mhm.
Boom, half of everything is gonna be going to somebody because you made a mistake. You fucked up and then you didn't own up to it, or you want to do what you want to do because you felt like doing it.
Yeah.
And that's not a problem. You're an adult. You can do anything you want to do.
You wanted to give an any temptation when it was present. Do it. Do
Go right ahead. Do
it.
you? And when karma rears her ugly head back
Mhm.
and bites you in the ass, don't get mad at nobody else. Don't get mad at the chick. Don't get mad at your wife. Don't get mad at anybody. Get mad at yourself because you weren't a grown man. Because again, grown men understand temptation is gonna come all the goddamn time in different forms, all the time. But if you are childlike, so you're just gonna be like a kid, like this a piece of candy over there. I want that, and I want that too. You're gonna pay the price for eating all that candy. You're gonna get sick. You're gonna, something gonna happen to you. But that's the price you pay because you didn't have to have both all the candy. You had just one. But no, you couldn't do that.
I was on a cruise ship for vacation and I was in a casino and I was losing. I was like, let me get up out of here. I snuck up. I tried to sneak up in there, and I swore when I got there, everybody knew me. I said, "Oh my goodness!" So I was real quick because you know, whatever.
Hmm.
I tried to sneak in, sneak out. It didn't work. I'm on my way out because I done lost everything. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. Y'all ain't even give me no luck to keep on going. Like, where they do that? Okay, random man. He's like, nah, baby girl, keep playing. You're not tossing no money in my direction, sir. I had to run up out of there because I already knew that once I started taking money from him, next thing you know, he was gonna be outside my cabin door. What? You see what I'm everything?
Yep.
Temptation is, I love to go out and just randomly, let's go shopping. Man, take me shopping here. Man, take me shopping. Because that's what ladies like. The men like to lay down with the women. The women like to go out shopping. A lot of things that we like, but it all comes with a price. It all comes with
Everything.
a price.
Yeah.
Now, did I need that man trying to attach himself to me for 7 days? Huh. Could you? No, no. You think you could just lay down on any old random women and there's no price that's gonna have to be paid with that? No attachments from it? Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
See,
Uh,
see again. So it doesn't stop.
the temptation, and it goes both ways. It's not like, oh, just the men is tempted by the women. Oh,
Yes, it happens both ways. Yes, and you have to be real. Like I said, real. If you're a real man, you can answer these questions and walk away from it, and just feel like you didn't. Oh man, it was an opportunity I had right there. Or I could have. Yeah, you could have. But was it worth it? No, it's not worth it.
that, those are technically your moments to be flattered when temptation, exists right in front of you. You're just simply flattered. The guy in the grocery store, he still might pay for my groceries, but that's plenty. Thank you. You know, keep it moving. I don't. Yeah, temptation is going to be there everywhere you go, everywhere, and there's always a kind person, you know wanted to just be your friend. um can we just meet up for drinks? We don't got to exchange no information. Now what you do with that shit is up to you, but what you would want your partner to do in those same situations, hmm that might be one for you to think about. um
Hello.
because I might not be a fan of, you know my spouse paying for somebody's groceries. I'm just saying.
No, I can't imagine your husband paying for groceries and come back and tell you he paid for groceries. That wouldn't work out so well.
Complimented the young lady. And I was like, girl, you're so let me pay for your groceries. Let me take care of that for you, Rose. You see what I'm saying? It's okay on one side, only if it's okay on the other side.
Hello.
Only. So you could go home and lay down with that girl real quick on your lunch break. Only if me too. I can go home and lay down with old boy during my lunch break too. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go back to work after. So
Oh my God. And that's a true and that's a very true statement. And that also goes back to this one dumbass, well, basketball player who said about marriage. He said only two people get married. Poor people and old people.
is it bored?
His name Paul Pierce is his name. He was a former basketball player for the Boston Celtics. He came out on a podcast a few weeks ago and said, I quote, the only two people to get married should get married are
Oh,
poor people
people
and old people. He
and
said if
old
it
people.
that's it. Nobody should get married.
How old was he? How old was he?
Oh, Paul Pierce about in his 40s.
He said he's
47, 48, something like that. I'm like, what the fuck?
for him, fucking fool. Say, how do you say you're a fool without saying you're a fool? Bingo. I, and it's okay to not know much about life. That's it's okay. But normally you don't volunteer that information to the rest of the world that you don't know much about, the things that you don't know much about. Or
Exactly.
life just treated you a certain type of way and we're giving you a pass, but damn, give us a pass too. Poor people, no, we're rich as hell in these relationships.
There you go.
A poor
See,
relationship, yeah, that's when we end up in divorce. Like, oh no, not enough. No respect up in this thing. It's not enough assets up in this joint. Like when relationship goes poor, yeah, the marriage don't even exist no more.
no, it's done deal. But and for this idiot to say it, and and again, everyone has their own point of view.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that. But
Doesn't
to
mean it's
say
right.
No, it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right because on the internet, people got all kinds of opinions about different things.
Mhm.
They'll make it like, oh yeah, he said that's. I didn't think about that. No, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
Because that's
but
not what I follow.
it's nice to hear,
Yeah,
how people feel about things.
and,
Yeah.
but what I hate is he'll get a certain group of guys. Listen, well, see, Paul Pierce said that shit. He gotta be right. No, fuck. Paul Pierce played basketball. Paul Pierce is not a motherfucking relationship advisor. He
No.
played ball and he has money, something a lot of people don't have. He had crazy money. He made tens of, probably hundreds of millions of dollars playing basketball. So his view on that is probably skewed
Yeah.
because if you're making $100 million, in a career, you're not going to look at women and say, "Oh, they love me for me,"
Mhm.
because they know you're a basketball player. They know where you came from.
Remember, he got touched by too many people. See, he's trying to compile everybody together to create something that he can't. He realizes it doesn't exist. You know, it can't exist for him. So, I mean, to a certain extent, he might have a little truth to what he was talking about. Truth be told, from his perspective, his life, like, because why would his rich ass get married? Fucking dummy, you're gonna be a hospital. Hey, I don't even know that. I don't even know this man. Just so we're clear. Um, but yeah, that's that. He on his way. I hope he found him a nice girlfriend, nice lady to wife up at some point. Um, I can't take back the dummy phrase, so I'm gonna say hopefully he's delivered from being a dummy. We all have to be the dummy at some point. Just pray that he stay there for too long. That's all.
Exactly. And again, marriage ain't for. We're not saying, ladies and gentlemen, marriage is for everybody. Because marriage isn't for everybody. Some people just destined not to be married, and based on their
Say
situation,
what
who
it
they
is.
are,
Say
you
who
know,
it's for. It's for the selfish. It's not for the selfish. Okay.
no,
It's not for the foolish.
no,
It's not for the men who only want to protect themselves. If you're gonna go underneath the bed when somebody kicking in the door trying to grab up your wife and kids, you know it's not for you. Even childbearing is not for you. You might as well get the V joint and snip that, and just do what you do, because if you're not willing to protect yours, you shouldn't even be having sex. That's not.
at that point, no, just don't do. I don't want you to even get caught and fuck up and have a kid, so you don't take care of it because I don't want to be that guy. Well, don't get yourself a dog. Go find yourself some women that will you can pay for, and avoid all of that. So, but for the ones who are going to get in marriage, it's going to be a long-term commitment. You'll have ups and you'll have downs. But you can't when to get down, all of a sudden, oh shit, I gotta get out of here, it's getting rough. Motherfucker, it's gonna get a lot rough because again, you signed up for this. Sickness and health, richer and poor. And a lot of times, we all start off poor. We all started off, with no money. But we hung with each other and we worked as a team to get to where we need to get to.
Thing. That's what poor people say. Come on, man. We ain't all start poor.
Right. And well, here's the thing I'm gonna say. You may start off poor when you got married, but if y'all work as a team, y'all gonna have some money. And you know what? More important than money, you're gonna have love that you can
I
share with
mean,
other people.
and so the idea is to not. It's not about the money. It's not about the marriage.
Mm-mm.
It's about the lifestyle. Whether your relationship is monogamous or not, whether or not you doing 50-50 in the household, he paying 100%. It's really not about any of those things. It's really about creating the lifestyle that you want with a person that you can weather through those storms with through life. And
Yes.
sometimes your partner not weathering through those storms with you, right? Sometimes you're not able to create that lifestyle that you want or need for you to thrive in with that person, right? Shit,
Mm-hmm.
that's not your person no more. Used to be your person. We get that. But for the most part, it's not supposed to be this fairy tale situation. That's not what it's serving. It's serving for the lifestyle. And that's the one thing that we kind of forget when you talk about, the happiness that, someone's taken away from you, or that you're not receiving, or she gonna take half of my stuff if we get divorced. What? No, I'm taking all that. Did we get to
Hey, like I said, you signed. This is what you signed up for. This is your duty that you signed up for. So, I mean, it wasn't like you didn't know. You knew, but
yeah,
again, along the way, this is why it forced you to work with each other. Now, if it comes to a point where you realize y'all just in two different areas, then it's
yeah,
probably best for both of y'all to leave and go your separate ways and live a better life
yeah.
separately.
But
But don't.
ultimately, y'all was getting together for something bigger. It was bigger than life. It was bigger than life. And if it didn't, it really doesn't matter if you started off rich or poor. If you stick together, create a plan that is not like his plan, not just like her plan, but this is our plan because this is how our family's going to be projected. You can't be stopped. But if
You
you
can't.
have millions and you haven't found your life partner, that's why you don't have the billions yet. What are you doing? You talking about it's only for no, you about to be the poor person. Everybody gonna come walking right past you because they done got their lady in order. She done anchor down the household. So whatever magic he had, that man could flourish even more. And that situation tends to just grow and flourish. That's the whole point. And if it don't, now well, we tried. We tried. And it's gonna be a really good try, and it's gonna do that thing that's intangible. It's gonna feed that soul. Like you can't pay for those things.
You can't. You really can't. And T, we go from Paul Pierce to your boy Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp.
We've been gone for way too long. That's
Yes.
such old news. Huh?
Yes. And I'm going to use his situation because, again, everybody knows about his situation. But this is a
I don't know
cautionary tale.
situation. I don't. No, I'm just playing.
Now, I knew he was on vacation, but you weren't under a rock. Everybody knew about his
No,
situation.
I knew about it on vacation. I was right in the phone line. Say what? Say what?
See?
Okay. Now the one principle that we didn't stand on here is listening to the aunties. Okay. Now when the elders speak, you actually supposed to listen. See, I remember coming across like this one literary piece. I don't know what it was, but it was talking about the importance of like parental guidance. It was for the young people, and talking about how important it is um to be able to receive information from those who are older than us, those are who are like a little more trained in different arenas than we are, those who are wiser than us in certain avenues, right? And when your elders speak to you, understand where they speaking to you from. Like they're not trying to toss you down the alley into some dark abyss. Like, no, they're speaking to you for a reason.
And that's so true. And the thing is, what bothers me about it is he had multiple people, as Cat Williams told him.
Yeah,
Watch out, mess with them little young girls. Your girl, Monique said something to him about it.
you
Get
know
yourself
that.
a little young older girl, older woman, take care of you, and don't get caught up with all this craziness. But the problem is, these guys want to play with these young girls. These young women are different. They're not like the young women when I was growing up, and not even the young women you were growing up. These women are now looking for the bag. And I had a couple women say, "Oh, we're all looking for the bag," because again, we're looking for our come up. We're looking for our level up. So if that means that I'm gonna have to play this game with somebody to get that money, and of course to me, I look at them like this, like the fuck, yeah, that's what you're driving for. That's what you're looking for, the bag,
The
the
bad.
fuck.
Mm.
And so for him to get caught in this, he deserved to get caught in this. The moment he signed that $100 million podcast deal, I was telling my wife, I said, "Oh, somebody gonna come back and get his ass." And a week later, this chick got his ass. I want 50 million. She didn't say I was gonna give her 10, but she wanted 50. Of course she wanted 50. She got receipts.
So let me ask you then. If the lady definably has GPYs, right?
Hmm.
Why I'm supposed to give those away for free or for damn near nothing if it's a limited number of them?
You know
Like,
what?
I
See, and you're right. You're absolutely right. You have a everyone has a finite, say an hourglass. You have that. So you can either use it for a happy meal or use it for $10 million. And the
I'm
choice is yours. And for me as a man, I can't argue that. I can't argue because again, if you said, "Hey, you're gonna do all this stuff, but you're gonna have to pay me," so okay, I signed up for it.
because some of them
So
get it for free,
we
and
know
some
money of them.
no free, not for me.
Oh, I know that. Oh, but a lot of them are like, he took me out and he bought me something, so I had to give him something. No, the fuck you didn't. You could give him his money back, but
Yeah,
you did.
yeah. First of all, no, no, because we could have just sat up on the damn phone and talked like 16-year-olds until the next guy came the hell along. That's what we could.
Yep. Yes.
Marijuana stick in privacy in my own damn home. I'm not being bothered with that. I wish to goodness I would. See, no, and I gotta lay down with you for a meal. What?
Mm,
Never,
mm.
never.
Yes. And that's what's happening. These again, this chick, she saw an opportunity. He was dumb enough to give her the opportunity, get the bag, get the money, do what he got to do, and he fucked himself up by doing it too. But
Yeah.
I don't look for me no sorrow. I ain't no sorrow for you.
Oh, no, because you're too old to pretend like you don't know the game. See, we out here trying to protect these young sports players right now. That seems to be the trend.
Yep.
Oh, y'all need to let that young brother know this, and y'all need to let that young brother. We're not out here telling y'all need to let Unc know this. Y'all need to let Unc know that. Unc's supposed to be telling the young boys how, hey, this what happens when this happens. This what you need to be. And it's not just like a certain group of women. Like, no, women in general. Talking about, oh, all y'all want is money. Yes. Get the hell out of here. Oh, you and you mad at all the things that I want and then try to look at me weird, calling me a gold digger. Yes, give it to me. Because what the hell else is you talking about? Next thing you know, I'm all used up. GPYs is done. And then I'm supposed to be broke and poor with it. Nah, the men can't have it both damn ways now. Your asses can't have it both ways. You can't have a little quick fun time, use up that good girl GPYs, and then for free. Some men want to have sex for free, and you know that should be a crime. Like you don't even have to like be responsible for that woman in any capacity. Weird as fuck. Weird. See, these are the principles I'm talking. These are the type of principles that is taught inside of a household. No, son, you want to get involved with the lady. Understand that ultimately you're gonna be responsible for taking care of that woman. You get her pregnant, you ain't responsible for that baby. You're responsible for that woman and that child now.
Yep.
See,
Yep.
we can't just keep selling our sons this bullshit, because it's no longer effective. We're out of child support court now. We're out of custody battles now, right? So then you
Yep.
want to tell your kids, oh no, don't do this for her, don't because somebody didn't do that for you. But you know that those are wrong principles to stand on. Your son want to go out there, you want to be engaged with women. He needs to understand the responsibility of being engaged with the woman comes with. You want to go pick her up, make sure you got gas in your damn car, because don't you get stranded out there on them streets or look at that girl talking about you got $20 put in the tank. No, I got a father to call to come pick me the hell up from over here on this
And
side.
leave your ass here and leave you here with the car with no gas.
Because you could have left me at home and picked me up in 2 weeks when you got your money up, sir. These are principles. Stay ready. And in order to stay ready, you got to go get yourself ready, which means you can't be having a good time when you're working to build up yourself.
Hello.
Those are the principles and the standards we missing.
And nobody is teaching that to them. And this is why we're looking at this disaster called dating and relationships in life because everybody here, and you're listening to people just as dumb as you are. It's so funny when I go back and look at other people. I'm like, wait a minute, I got a pair of shoes older than your ass is. You try to tell me about a relationship? I've been married longer than you've been alive. But you
Yeah,
trying to tell people, oh, well, you should do this. Motherfucker, you haven't even seen a healthy relationship. You
yeah.
haven't gone through shit.
And you
Can't
know it's
provide nothing.
popular. The unhealthy advice gets real popular and everybody starts applauding it like it's the truth. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Just because
No.
agrees with it because everybody on that same fuck shit.
Hello.
That's what
No.
everybody to be standing on. No, no,
Mm,
because all your kids come outside, and that's why you see that the kids can't go to the malls in the evenings. They can't go to the harbors in the evenings because collectively, y'all kids don't know how to act. And when I say y'all, I mean ours. See,
yes.
may not be 95% of the households, because right, I'm quite sure it's more than 5% that stand with me and my kids, but you shut down the whole situation for all of them as they walk into adulthood. Because they didn't stand on shit.
And that's so true too. I mean, look, I just heard recently that Six Flags is closed after like 40 some years. It was so crazy because we were in Vegas and I heard about a big fight that happened at Six Flags. And I looked at my phone. I told my wife, I said, these motherfuckers can't go to the fucking park, enjoy themselves, and stop fuck with people and stop fighting. I was gonna fuck around and get that shit shut down. And damn, like a week later, they said we're closing that shit down. And it's like, oh, that's because if enough fights, enough bullshit happen, I don't want to take that risk as a business person. I'm like, you know what? I could sell this property and build homes on this shit, and y'all figure somewhere else to go and do what you gotta do. And that's what they fucking did. And now they're like, I can't believe they get rid of it. Of course they had to. You can't keep going fighting. You're going to a water park. It's 100 fucking degrees outside, and you fighting. What you fighting for? You don't have to act. You don't have to conduct yourselves as fucking logical young adults. How you get into a fight? Why are you fighting? I don't even understand why the hell you doing that shit. But it has repercussions. Your actions have repercussions. Repercussions now, future generations won't be able to use it because it's gone. It'll be a gone situation because you didn't know how to fucking act as an adult. And all we're saying is whether you like it or not, once you become an adult, you have to do adult shit. You can't just, oh, I'm a play. I'm a kid, but I'm an adult on this situation, but I'm a kid in this situation. No, motherfucker, you're either a kid or you're an adult. Can't play both. I know you would love to, and a lot of people do. You know what? You're coming after me because I ain't understand, motherfucker. At 18 years of age, you should understand quite a bit. I didn't understand if I shot the gun and it hit somebody and it killed them. There, I wasn't really shooting at them. I was shooting at the other person. But motherfucker, you shot the gun, so you're going to go to jail for the rest of your fucking life for making a dumbass decision. So it's time for these kids to grow up, start really adulting, not talk about it, but really adulting. And again, if people don't give these kids any kind of fucking code of conduct, what the fuck? What do you think is gonna happen? We're looking at it. We're looking at a whole bunch, and we're like saying, "What the fuck? What the hell happened?" Because, but we're saying, T, not my kid.
Yeah.
Your kid's not doing it. That person's kid's not doing it. But it's the other motherfucker that did it. That's fucking up for all our kids because somebody didn't raise them properly. Somebody didn't show them a code of conduct. Somebody didn't instill some sort of values into those motherfuckers. And now we all have to suffer for the fuck shit.
Because these the daughters they gonna bring home. See, if I raise my sons properly, I gotta risk the idea of him bringing home somebody's daughter who wasn't raised properly. And if you raise your daughter properly, now you got to run the risk of her bringing home, a young man who wasn't raised properly. So it's like, yeah, my household, I made sure I instilled proper things inside of my kids, but that it's not enough.
It isn't enough. And I don't even know, T, where would, well, this whole lot of ways went wrong, but I don't know how do we get away from, like, granted, we didn't call it a code of conduct when I was growing up. It was just like, God damn it, that's you're gonna follow these rules and you're gonna follow it out there. But I don't know how we got away from that to what we see right now. And again, we have parents out there doing a great job, but again, you could do a great job and still your kid suffers because your kid was not there doing fuck shit. Your kid was out there being a model citizen society, but this idiot could have done some shit, shot and killed him or her because he don't give a fuck. So now I get pulled into that world of I did all I could do, and my kid still got shot, or my
Mhm.
kid still got whatever happened to him. So
Or
again,
still ended up with the crazy baby mama, right? Or my daughter still ended up with the guy, who played with her. Like you can say that you're doing everything right, but the society that we in is the society that we in. There's, people who were just not meeting us right there. Uh,
no. No, not at all. And we have to get to that point. We got to.
Yeah, I don't know when we got there, and I don't know how we got there. I feel like we've been laxing of a whole lot of things over like the last 20 years. Like we've calmed down the way we present ourselves when we go outside. We have more pajamas, it's okay. The workplace attires lax. The way the children are allowed to go into the schools nowadays, they can the way some of these schools allow the kids to speak is horrendous. um, so it's just like we've relaxed every so many things, and the standards have also relaxed, right? The way you used to groom your daughters and make sure your daughters spoke when they went out, it's just not the same. And it to me, it just I just keep remembering that phrase of keeping it real. You know, everybody that keep it real. No, it's called code switching. You
Yep.
supposed to keep it real in front of grandma and your mother. Like, no, keep it a little bit discreet with them and keep it real on the playground and hope that there's no adults with their children on the playground when you quote unquote keeping it real, because then you gotta code switch them too. How about that?
Exactly. And the other thing is everybody, especially men and young women need to understand there's a expectation of how you carry yourself. Um, and everybody wants to grow up. Everybody, I can't wait till I grow up. You ain't ready for that shit. I tell all the young ones, you ain't ready. It sounds good till you get here. When you get here, oh shit, I got responsibilities. Yeah, you ain't ready for that shit. So enjoy your time and stop trying to be older than what you are. Stop. I may be 13. He's an older boy. He's 20. He's 23. No, that's statutory rape. If he fucks with you, he should be in jail for a long, long time. There's nothing sexy but I'm 13. He hollering at me because I'm 13. No, if a 23-year-old is hollering at you at 13, there's something wrong with him.
Um, both of the arenas are lacking there, right? 22-year-old talking to a 13-year-old. Why is he not amongst his peers, right? Where are his peer groups at? The 13-year-old, same thing. Because she's feeling herself. Let's just
Yes, we know this.
girl,
Yes, you got you're starting maturing. You starting to show things,
the
and
girls in just a little bit, and they are gorgeous. They are gorgeous. The hips might have started doing 13. You look in the mirror for some of them, and it's like, yeah. So the idea that you're not grooming that, you're not complimenting that young girl, you're not being mindful that, hey, I see your body and it's beautiful, you know, those are the things that she's going to need, because, the 22-year-old's an asshole, he just want to, have a good time if he can have that time. And he's a fucking weirdo, but he's weird. He doesn't even realize how weird he is, you know.
exactly.
Yeah. But it's all out of order, but it's only out of order because there's no proper grooming going on. I've
Yeah,
firsthand, and you got to jump in and you got to say, this is what you're doing, this is what you can't do, this is why you can't do it. Let me redirect you here. See, and it's not something you do one time, right? Because you double check upon them, like what you're doing, which way we're going with stuff, and you got to redirect the young people. So, if you looking at older boys, let me remind you, on why you shouldn't be in their faces, um, especially at this time.
and T, you want to tell the young ladies about taking pictures and sending it? Because I've heard that a lot. Somebody sent me an email recently said, something way back, like, I have a problem with my 16-year-old. She keeps sending nude pictures to her boyfriend. And I said, first of all, I said, no, she should not be sending any nude pictures to anybody. I said, because that's child pornography. Because she is under 18, under 17, 18. So,
Right.
yes.
That's not a good argument. That's not a
Why?
good
Well, really, I said, what the fuck is
argument.
she taking goddamn pictures sending? Why is she taking nude pictures sending to anybody? Why are you as a
This girl
16-year-old?
looked in the mirror. She said, "Damn, this is my body. Somebody got to see it.
T,
Somebody see it." She was like, "This body is beautiful." Let's can we admit that? Can we at least admit that the woman looks? I mean, at all ages too. You know, you look at your body in the mirror, no clothes on, it's gorgeous. You're like, damn. Okay, curves.
That's
How,
fine. But
however, yeah. However, okay, 17. I feel like this starts as early as 12. Okay.
yeah, yes,
My reason on why you wouldn't do it is because it's dumb. I can't give you no other explanation. The shit is dumb. How could he be worth like him and his homeboys viewing your pictures? How could you like? I'm not that cheap. You know, I always go to my self worth. I just can't. I'm not that fucking cheap. Okay, I'm sorry, and neither are you. Okay, there's already nude pictures on the internet. You want to send them a nudie? Find one to put your damn face on it. I will be finding ones with super big, robust boobies. Some that's a little hanging, big nipples, small nipples. Fuck it. Go have fun with it. You want to send a nude or some shit? But my body, for you and your homeboys to be sending them around or looking at them together on the school bus, doing weird shit with my pictures,
yep.
gonna be that damn cheap in this lifetime. No, that's no, no. Girl, you don't get some damn self-worth together. Pussy ain't never been for free, neither is them pics. What the hell type of lifestyle was that? No, and you can't beat them, you know. But
No,
shit, I don't know how you stop that other than coming to them directly and honestly. Some of them you might have to throw a little curse word in there. Like I don't know. I like to insult children. Some kids are more sensitive than others, and maybe you can't insult them. Um, yeah, that can't be for like that can't what?
yes. And I was like, oh my God. And it's a problem. It's a big problem that's happening out here because everybody's willing to do it, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't have to. But that goes back to what we it starts the entire thing off on is code of conduct.
But is that
And
the code? That's new day stuff. I can't instill that in my household, girl. Don't be sending them news to your man. How you do that just one time? I don't even got nothing to stand on this. Hey,
and,
hey, I have nothing here.
and T,
Ever-
to be
Just
honest,
don't do it.
it,
Just
it, it-
do it.
don't do it. And grown ass women are doing it and getting caught, and then they go into court. I can't believe you took my pictures, put it on the internet. Well, as the judge said, you you took the pictures, did you? Yeah, but between the two of us. But then we broke up, and he put it up on there online for people to look at me.
Well,
And of course,
where did
huh?
he see that? Like, where does it? Because I don't.
He
I
he put it.
This is the thing.
Mhm,
Okay, let's say I sent my new pictures to somebody, right?
mhm.
See, posting it that would affect me.
He could post it anywhere, depending on kind of weirdo he is. He could put it
But,
just on,
but where? See, you
like on
stop,
some X-rated post, or
and then I
uh
would know, and it would affect me.
I would think if you look that good and somebody start questioning about you, and
Would people know me? Like he was like, oh, this Tamara, like how would people know me? How would I know? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
I I think nine times out of ten, I think you go and do a search. Like you can search for it, or that's what I'm thinking. But
I
it's a
would,
whole lot of people that had this goddamn problem. They didn't pass a law. It's called revenge porn. So they
yeah,
said you go to jail for it now.
or maybe
Before you
they're
couldn't.
shooting it to all the coworkers, and maybe we all work together.
Could very well be.
Like, something like that, like kind of like in high school where you just kind of sent the picture to all the homeboys in the group chat, and now you mad man. See, that was cheaply because then it got cheaply sent to him, and then he done cheaply disseminated it to everybody else. That's what I'm saying. You got to be worth more. You got to be worth more than the cheap photo now, because as you looked at your own body, you said "damn" to yourself. And if you 17, you looked at your own body and said "damn" if you're willing to take a picture and send it. Okay. Now, if you said damn, you realize some self-worth there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get away real easily. I guess I'm gonna have to stand on that. Don't give that away that easy. Because first of all, what is he giving you? Nothing. Not a damn thing. And then oh, let me get a picture. No, no. If you catch me over not home, that's one thing, okay? But you just want me to send this through the camera. Get your poor ass up off my thing. See, because you only got your mother money at these ages, so they
Yes,
all broke. You know.
everybody broke. Everybody broke. So again, this all these things is coming. And like you said, this is new. We didn't have this issue. I didn't have the issue with
Yeah.
in my grade. You didn't have probably was beginning to have is
Oh, no, we had no. Ours was Polaroids. Ours was still a little picture. I was still a little, you had to get that developed. No, we didn't have this problem going on at my age. Absolutely not. I mean, but if you took an inappropriate picture, that might have physically got let out though. We did
yep.
maybe had an issue like that once or twice, but you weren't like going out of your way to like, show off your swimsuit photos. Like, no, you would have had to catch me at the beach to catch me in a two-piece. Because and then you're not going back referencing my pictures later on when you're about to go to sleep, having your little dreams. What
I get paid shit. I ain't get no money.
Yeah, I mean, you can't even go to the little video adult store for free. Remember they used to have the booths? The little
Yeah,
uh,
I remember that.
uh,
Yes, but
I
it's like
can't be more affordable than the store. No, no.
exactly. So
Mm-mm.
again, these are all things that we talk about. It's like y'all just gotta be smart out there. It's just certain things. It's common sense just needs to come back
I
with a
mean,
vengeance.
in certain movies, apparently, y'all, some of these principles, like your parents would talk about it, and then you would see it act out in a movie. So then it was like, how that happening to me like that? So you
Hmm.
got it there. So maybe we gotta sit our children down and watch a few of the movies from the past because I wish to goodness I thought
And the one thing y'all forget, the internet is forever. So
mm,
once it goes on the internet, it stays on the internet. So you could become a first lady at the church at some point. And somebody said, damn, is that Sister Powell up there? I
yeah,
just saw her about 15 years ago looking like this. Can't go, doesn't go away.
and
So and then him sending his little dick pics, it should not be a compensation for that.
oh, that's free. Okay, I don't want to knock on a man's self worth, but since when have we been able to sell that? Like where in history? What? Not
That's
in
true.
history. Maybe in another one where there's a shortage, but not here. So don't ever think that that's the same. No, that's down there disposable. And I got sons myself, so but I'll be damned if we pretend like it's the same. Like could you imagine a bunch of girls in the back? I'm like, girl, you see this? You see his this? Yeah. We be all in the back. It look like that. It's not like attractive to us, like so we not all like sending it to our own girls. Like, girl, look at we not. It's not even. Come on, y'all take off your clothes and probably be like, what is it? No, we get undressed and it's like, that is gorgeous. I don't think it happens to y'all like that.
No, no, no. We pretty much sitting there like, God damn, and you keep it moving. I mean, what is it being impressed by? You're impressed by it, depending on how it look. But outside of that, unless you up on stage swinging for the wet ladies.
That's different. Now that might be impressive. Not even
Yes.
not that we may be impressed then. I will second that one. But off the right, what are y'all doing? No. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. That's the real deal, or you don't be involved at all. Ooh, so
No.
now old people, that's your business. If y'all but you can't fuck around and find out and then be mad when you find out. Like that's weird. Hmm.
Yes, especially when you did it. You sent it from your phone to somebody else's phone. It's for open consumption.
And then why are we so hung up on people's nudity? Like I don't understand. Like mine is beautiful. If you come up on mine, you would be blessed. Okay. You just pay for that bit. I mean, I just all I'm gonna say is you're welcome. I can't imagine. I don't know. I'm at look into this further on how it ruins people because I don't have the capacity right now to understand how it's ruining people.
Well,
Because
you know what? Definitely. And I'll look it up too. So the next time we'll have some clarification for y'all on what really happens. But I knew it was a guy who was selling his shit. A guy, he was on some news channel. He was selling his girlfriend's pics online.
oh
Getting
yeah,
paid for it.
oh yeah, I could imagine somebody doing that. Yeah. Oh
And
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
Oh, some too. Shit. Give me somebody new pics. They go, how much they going for? You see, like, it just depends. It just depends.
That is so goddamn true. Oh my God. But it's just people really we gotta step back. You gotta step back and see what are you doing? Are you doing what's right for if you have kids, do you have any kind of rules established? If not, if you say, "Oh, I don't," then yeah, probably need to sit down with a pen and piece of paper and figure that shit out now before it's too late. It may be too late, but at least you can say, "Hey, now I found out, I was wise to it, and I can come up with some sort of cues." As you said, three. Ain't gotta be a whole bunch of them, just three simple ones. If you do that, you can build from that. But you gotta start somewhere, T.
It could be that one of them can be silly. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it don't all have. It just got to be something that you stand on. It don't all have to be. One of mine is don't be dumb. You know, the kids know it. No, no, ma, don't be dumb. Don't be. I know, ma. I know, ma. Don't be dumb. Yeah, use your brain and think. It's a little. It's a little blunt, but they get it. They understand. It's your household. Make it how you want it. I'm not. Don't offend your kids. You know your kids. My kids got thick skin. Um, don't offend your kids, but do it. And speak to it like how you would speak for your family, your household. You don't have to take someone else's stuff and implement it in your household, and it's not representative of who you are, what you know about. Um, just make your own three. What's my other one? I think it's choices. Be careful
Mm-hmm.
you make. You walk up out of this house. Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's a good. I love those. I love those because I always I always tell my son, rule number one, your friends are stupid. Rule
Mm-hmm.
number two, refer back to rule number one.
Mm-hmm. That's
And three,
it. Don't be dumb.
yep, yep.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can kill that. And
Mm-hmm.
three, don't do shit. If your parents have you ever seen us do it, you don't do it. So that means don't you go to somebody's house, they're drinking. Do you ever see us drink? No. Do you see us smoke? No. So don't get peer pressure. Don't always be a leader, never a follower.
Some people can't use that rule. Nuh-uh. Uh-uh. Don't do what you ain't seen your parents do. Uh-uh. See, you got to use what's good for your household. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord.
People drinking, smoking in front of their kids, probably doing all types of stuff in front of the kids in this generation. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. This is a
Mom
different generation.
over the place, daddy dating, So that was a real good one because y'all had a good standards in the household and y'all actually live by it. For the
That
rest of y'all, don't use that because y'all know that y'all not living like
is so true. You have to tailor it to your house.
that.
Don't
Absolutely.
tell it to everybody else's because again, your house works in your house and they just carry that shit on. That's all you can do.
If you
You
see
know,
and daddy doing it, don't you do it. Some people got to say that. Don't do what I do. Do better than me. Yeah,
hey, see that there you go. There you go. Girl,
whatever.
see you want to say anything else to the people before we end?
Man, this was a great one. I don't. I'm tired. I am tired by the people today. Dang, y'all are trying to send the news out to the left and then to the damn right. Oh boy, you talk about poor people and the elderly is the only ones who need to get married. What? Man, internet been interneting. Jesus.
See, I told you it's gonna be a lot. But again,
Yeah,
that's what we do. Like I
that's
said,
it.
we talk about all these subjects and we try to, tell y'all the real, because we're real. We've been here over 3 years, and thanks to you guys, we're at 18,000 subscribers at this point. Yes, yes. And over 650,000 views. I think we're close to 700,000 views. So I want to thank you guys for that, for giving us that effort and that love to keep pushing. And we're gonna keep giving you more stuff because again, it's summertime now, so we're gonna be doing a lot of little side projects to come up here because it's summertime. So, but ladies and gentlemen, always a pleasure. And just take what we said. Just come with a standard of a code of conduct, a standard of excellence. How do you want to call it? Something to have in your house that your kids can follow, and it makes you accountable too. So that way they can't say, "Well, damn, you ain't doing it." No, we're all doing it because we're in the same house. So if you do that, it should minimize a lot of your problems. So with that, we're going to end this episode of On the Mic with the M.
Fancy.
Listen, y'all, You do what you normally do. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and until next time, y'all. Peace and blessings.